Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, the Most High, our Creator and our Power, who the world ignorantly calls God. His name is Yahweh. In the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord, our Savior, and our Deliverer, the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls JC. His name is Yahweh Shah. Call Halayamla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Makakodash. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, peace, blessings, and safety to the hopeful elect. And this lesson is going to be entitled, forgot the name. If any would not work, neither should he eat. Okay, which is pretty much based off of a few clips that I have dealing with the ant. Okay, and it just some inspiration, because when I look at ants, I really I admire ants and the way that ants move and the way that they operate, and we can take a lot from ants, man, as humans, in the sense of how we deal with each other, man, because humans, especially the American human, we're taught to be selfish. We're taught to do everything on our own. We taught to, there's this pretty much unspoken fear or want to ask for help, because people are assholes. People are very selfish and only care about themselves. But that's not our particularly us Israelites, that's not our heritage. That's not our custom to be selfish and to not want to help each other out, or even to ask for help, because we all supposed to look out for each other the same way we would want to be looked out for. But when you look at the characteristics of an ant, man, it's very inspiring, from the way ants are able to work together, the way that they sacrifice themselves for one another, right? Again, humans can take a lot from these ants, man. The average human, especially in America, they're very selfish, very freaking lazy, and they will get over on you before they ever sacrifice themselves or put themselves last for you. All right, but when you look at these ants, man, they work in unity. They work in unison, and they they're very active. They very they toil. When you look at ants, when you see ants working, whether they be in a line or in a group, they always, every last one of them are working. You may have some standing off to the side, on watch, or they have their own security system, because ants are very, very intelligent. But for the most part, man, you got ants, they all work at the same time. Nobody's sitting by. But when it comes to humans, the average person will look for a reason not to work. If somebody could get some benefits while doing the least amount of work possible, they'll do it, man. The average person. But look how they're able to work together. This is a puzzle that most humans couldn't even solve. It's actually a study of humans doing the same thing. The exact same. I don't know if they call it. It's like a T. I'm not sure what they call it, but this T thing. You had humans all holding on each side, holding these things, and it took them a lot longer, because a lot of humans are unable to work together, because everybody wants things done their way. Especially when it comes to men. They want things done their way. They want to get credit for themselves, as opposed to working in a group. But these ants, they get it done, man. Look at this. I find this very very entertaining and very admirable. And this is what I mean by ants. They sacrifice themselves for each other. You know, a lot of those ants that's on that, you know, on this river, right? They made their own bridge. This is on water in the creek. A lot of those ants are dead. Some of them they still alive, you know, but a lot of those ants are dead, man. But that didn't matter. You know, obviously, you know, they're ants and they're not humans, but the whole point of taking those characteristics, taking those traits from ants, man, we need to be more like that as humans. You know, they, by any means necessary, they getting it done, even if it means sacrificing themselves, man. This is a smaller version, or you know, again, making the bridge, getting it done. You know, I used to watch ants growing up, but you know, I didn't have, you know, too much understanding. I just seen that they always work together. You know, I see them carrying their little crumbs, carrying the food. But people don't know, man. Ants, they can carry. I'm not sure what the number is, but they can carry a lot of weight. You know, more weight than they weigh. And you see ants working all through the spring, you know, through the summer, and then, you know, they go underground, but they working through the spring and the summer so they can have their substance, you know, to be sustained through the winter. And that's amazing to me, because, you know, the average human, the average American is very freaking lazy, man. I don't know how many times I've been at a job and, you know, Jake just don't want to work, man. Especially, look, this is called the weaver ant, also known as the green tree ant. You know, and they take leaves and they fold the leaves. They drag the leaves and they fold the leaves into a nest. And I find it, you know, very, very amazing, man, how the Lord created a lot of these creatures. And, you know, something as small as an ant, you know, you look at it as insignificant. And then, you know, you look at it as insignificant and you don't really think too much of it. But, man, these ants, they have a purpose just like any other creature on the earth. All right. But again, just, you know, just some inspiration, you know, looking at those videos and looking at how people are, man. It's crazy. But I'm going to just get a few scriptures, and Lord willing, it's edifying. I'm going to start off with Proverbs 6 and verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise." All right, so we told, I believe that's King Solomon, but we told to consider the ways of the ant, man. How they work together, they sacrifice themselves for one another. You know, there's no selfishness. When you look at the way ants operate, there's no selfishness. Whenever you look at the ants, they always working, right? Continuing on, it says, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, you know, they don't have anybody sitting there telling them what to do, guiding them and directing them. It's like they, you know, of course, that's their nature. Just like all animals, they're in order. They know what they're supposed to do. They just do it. It's how they're programmed. It says, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest. All right. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Okay. And a lot of people, man, they're very sluggish. You know, when they on the job, they want to do the bare minimum, but then they complain about the pay. You know, and how much more being in this truth, you know, being an employee of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because ultimately that's what we work for. This is what, you know, what we do. That's what this is all about. We working for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And like the scriptures say, man, he that soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly. All right. So if you putting in the bare minimum work, man, you can't expect any more than what you putting in. All right. But it said, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Okay, and pretty much what that means is, sleep is only meant to recharge, to rejuvenate you, to get you back, to that level of energy that you need to get things done. People, they overindulge, and that's another thing America teaches us, is to overindulge, man, to deal with things in excess, man, as opposed to doing things in moderation, having more self-control, having discipline. It's so easy to lay your ass around, got your feet kicked up. This America is a very enabling place. When you go to these other countries like Greece, a lot of South American countries, a lot of places in South America, even particular European areas. These people, they work for their food. A lot of people in these other countries, they don't have grocery stores and markets like America has on every damn corner. A lot of these people, they still hunting for their food. And that's not saying they hunting it with their hands. They may have some tools. They may have a machete or some bow and arrow, maybe even guns. But still, the way that they going and getting their food, they putting in work. They're actually doing physical labor. Well, America, you go. I'm looking at a Taco Bell right now. I'm doing this lesson in the car. The line, it's quite a few cars in the line. The average American don't know how to go get it with their hands, And when you look at, these different animals, obviously this is about ants, but, any of these animals, hey, they're programmed in a way to survive. America is not, it doesn't teach you how to survive. It teaches you how to leech and to beg. Right, but again, people they overindulge, and there's no balance, man. A false balance is an abomination to the Heavenly Father, man. Having balance is knowing when to cut off certain things, whether it be good or bad. And for example, too much. What I meant to say is too much of something good can become bad. Too much sleep. Too much food, food, especially depending on the type of food you eating, it can make you lazy, right? Getting more in the habit of eating only what's necessary and what you need, what's actually beneficial for you, and once you're full, cutting it off. But, we eat bullshit, and then that contributes to laziness. You get the itis, because you're eating food that ain't actually nurturing you. It's just filling up the space in your stomach. And then once that break down, which takes a lot of energy, and then you hungry, you right back hungry. But you tired. You hungry again, but you tired. But ants, they get what's necessary. They get what they need. All right, but let me continue on. I'm gonna read verse 10 and 11 again. It says, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep." Right? Yeah, you get a little too comfortable, and then next thing you know, you become unproductive. It says, "So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man." All right, sneak up on you. All right, Proverbs 13:4. "The soul of the sluggard desireth, and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat." Yeah, because a person who's diligent, a person who's active, and a person who's constantly toiling, there's no room for being lazy. There's no room, because a person like that who's diligent, they understand, okay, everything that I'm going to get is because I'm laboring for it. I'm working for it. They don't expect to get anything that they're not working for or that they're not earning, right? But the average American is, especially in a place like this in Vegas, man, is everybody got their hand out. Everybody's begging. Everybody's asking for something that they not willing to work for. You know, I'm sure we all have dealt with, or even if you haven't dealt with it personally or witnessed it personally, I'm sure you've seen it or heard about somebody, a family member that's always asking for something, but they're not willing to work for it. They're not trying to reciprocate. You know, well, can I borrow a few dollars? I'll come, you know, knock out some work around the house for you, or, you know, I'll do this. No, it's just, hey, can I hold something? No consideration. You know, Jake don't even be wanting to pay the money back, man. But, you know, the point is, man, hey, people are very lazy. And this is why it's gonna be so bad when America, you know, hit rock bottom, man. This place is already low, but when famine is in full effect, these people gonna be going through it, man. Because we live in a place where everything is at the tip of your fingers. Everything is quickly and easily accessible. Again, I'm looking at a Taco Bell, you know, in this particular street, there's multiple restaurants, multiple businesses that you can go into, and within 10 minutes you can get some food. These, you know, if things are not easily available for these people, they're not gonna know what to do. They're not gonna know what to do, man. And man, a lot of these people, they go to these restaurants because they don't feel like cooking. You know, a lot of them have the means to cook. They have the means to, you know, make their own food, but they don't want to. It's just, okay, it's convenient, but, you know, it's gonna hit these people hard, man. Ecclesiastes 10 and 18, it says by much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. All right. And when you think about you know, owning a house or having a house, you know, that house needs to be maintained. If you just let it sit, it's going to eventually rot and cave in. You're not, you know, upholding that house. You know, making sure everything is intact. You're doing your you know, your repairs. You know, adding to it. You know, strengthening it. And you just slothful. You idle. The scriptures speak about how idleness teaches much wickedness. And this, you know, hey, if you're not working, then you in some kind of vanity. You in something that's a waste of time. You know, something that's just a bypass. You know, what they call it, pastime. Most likely some kind of entertainment, or, you know, you're spending money on something that, you know, could have waited, or you don't need. It's a lot of time on your hands, especially in America, man. All right. And, you know, hey, idleness, especially in these times, idleness is an enemy. Because people, you know, they're so used to being entertained that when there's nothing going on, like look at the time of you know, a few years ago during the whole pandemic. You know, when things got shut down, people had a lot of time on their hands. But instead of doing something productive, putting it towards something that's going to be beneficial, you know, learning a language, you know, sharpening up on those different skills or even talents that you may have, and people was bullshitting, doing, you know, versus battles and, you know, podcasts, you know, shit that don't have no meaning, that's not going to actually be useful in the real world. You know, yeah, people made money off the little podcasts and off the little battles and all of that, but that's not useful in the real world. It's not useful for survival. You know, people, you could have used that time to, you know, get some peace of mind, man. But people, they love being around distraction so much. You know, but not to, you know, get off topic, but the whole point is, you know, just having that balance, man, knowing how to cut certain things off. You know, knowing when to, you know, knowing what to have you have your energy towards. All right, Ecclesiastes 4:8. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither in his eyes satisfied with riches, neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity, yea, it is a sore travail. It says, matter of fact, let me read that again. It says, there is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity, yea, it is a sore travail. All right, this is pretty much talking about a man who's alone. You know, he doesn't have any anything to give credit for why he's doing it. Ecclesiastes 4:8. Let me read that in a different translation. It says, it says, this is the case of a man who is all alone, without a child or a brother, yet who works hard to gain as much wealth as he can. But then he asks himself, who am I working for? Why am I giving up so much pleasure now? It is all so meaningless and depressing. All right. It says, two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. Right? When you alone, you know, it's hard to, it's hard to find motivation, man. But when you have somebody else there to push you, and who you can push, you can feed off of each other. You have that motivation. You have that, you have somebody who you can make sacrifices for, and you also have somebody who will make sacrifices for you. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble, man. And that's true. That's another thing that America promotes, and it teaches you, again, to be selfish, to do things on your own, not ask for help. And that's not saying you ask for help from anybody. Obviously, you want to know who you asking help from. But even I remember, before the truth, I had the mentality that I had to, get out of coming into the truth, trying to do everything on my own, trying to, not wanting to ask for help. And I'm still kind of like that to this day, but nowhere near as much as I used to be, and not when it comes to brothers, but when it comes to anybody else. Just because I know how people are, and whoever I'm dealing with, I know what to expect from people that I'm around, so I'm very particular with that. But when I come into the truth, and I see how brothers how brothers interact with one another, and I know how I am, man. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of a body that you can contribute to, and that you can fall back on in a time of need. That's a beautiful thing to be a part of, man. And it's nothing like that, and it's different. It's much different from anything that you can experience in the world, because there's no strings attached. If you help a brother out, you ain't looking for nothing back. You don't have to worry about nobody trying to get over on you, or you don't have to worry about the shit that you have to deal with people in the world, even family members, man. It ain't even too much that needs to be said on that, but we don't have to deal with the same things, right? But let me continue on. It says, likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm, but how can one be warm alone? That's truth. It says, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Right? So there's strength in numbers, man, especially when you on one accord. It's not just the numbers alone, but the ability to work together and to be on one accord. That's what makes it strong, right? When you take three chords, they're strong together when they straight. But if you braid them, right, meaning the braiding part is them being on one accord, right? Them being in unison, being supporting one another. Them just being alone, that's one thing, but them being braided, that makes that increases the strength. Okay, because now it's three different parts, but it makes up one. And just like the brotherhood, man. Brothers are strong alone, but much more stronger together. The body is a beautiful thing, man. And when you look at those ants, how they're able to work together, and there's no, I'm talking like these ants got brains, like humans, but you get the point. But these ants, they don't think, oh well, I'm not gonna be a part of the bridge. I want to be the one walking on the bridge. No, it just happens. They get it done. They form the bridge, and whoever is a part of the bridge, that's just what it is. Whoever is the ones, working and walking on the bridge, hey, that's what it is. But they all have a common goal, and they do what it takes to get to that goal, man. All right. I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Lord willing, I wasn't rambling too much, and there was some edification to come out of it. But again, man, just looking at those characteristics of those ants and how they move, how they work together. Very inspirational, very motivating, and I want to be more like those ants, in their characteristics. You all should too, whoever may be listening. But Lord willing, I pray it was edifying. And with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, peace, blessings, and safety to the hopeful elect. And DTA Abba Ball, Kwame Al-Shala. Until next time, Shalom.